given your experience working across the technology sector, you've shared a lot of the strategic approaches and insights into audiences. I wonder, to get practical for a minute here, do you have any, are there any go-to approaches, or, how do you engage these tech savvy and technical audiences? Are there any approaches that you usually maybe a go-to when you're starting a new initiative or something like that? Where do you start from?
So I will say, broadly speaking, what we see in our company in terms of our highest lead generator is through our website. And our organic search has really been an area that we've invested in. So SEO, really understanding that, we have a consultant that we work with who provides a lot of counsel to us. Because customers, we know that our customers, again, IT people are strapped for time. What are the first things they're going to do? They're probably not going to call up a friend. They may not download a report, but they're going to go to their web browser and they're going to enter in a term and they're going to see what pops up. So it's really, and we hear this from our customers. They're like, oh, I was searching for this and then I found you. Or I was searching for this and I didn't find you. And it's like, oh, whoops, we better figure that one out.
Right.
So I think it's nothing fancy. We also do pretty well with white papers, which seems like this kind of old school thing. But a white paper doesn't have to be 20 pages, right? I mean,
right.
People call them ebooks now. To me, it's kind of one and the same. But,
Right.
A good piece of content that's between 2 and 6 pages that has charts, that has data, that has something other than a fluffy story, which, marketers love to tell those, but meaty enough to where the person who's reading it can quickly scan and see, okay, wait, this is actually exactly the use case that I need. Now I understand how it works. Okay, I'm going to go talk to my boss about this. So those papers, that kind of content helps us. We also, have a great BDR team, and they're on email and on the phone and on LinkedIn all day long, trying to engage customers as our frontline team to help, and then hooking into their AEs. So our BDR team has been great. So we figured out kind of what works for us. Now I will say, when you think about, let's say, a campaign, our main campaigns are really focused around our product launches. So we usually have 3 significant ones every year. And so for each one of those, we should plan 30 days ahead of time. And the actual launch will consist of a press release, a blog, a demo, screenshots, analyst calls, maybe a data sheet on our website. And so we put together all this content and we kind of trickle it out over the course of a few weeks. And we also work that content into customer webinars. So we haven't really talked about webinars, which were overdone during the pandemic, but we do find that when we have webinars that are especially for customers and prospects that really teach them about the topic and about, new tactics, we get a lot of response. Webinars that are just promoting your solution, no. But if you really have something that's educational, that's a learning moment, then we find that those have been really helpful. So nothing super fancy. We do social media like everybody else. And for a small company or even a bigger company, social media is a lot about branding and getting your name out there so that a customer hopefully hasn't heard about you for the very first time when they get that email or that phone call. And it's also good for just relationships with partners and things like that. But I don't know. I sometimes I feel like we're throwing things against the wall, and you have to kind of step back and take a breath and say, hey, why don't we just focus on these 3 things that we know are working for right now? Don't try to boil the ocean. Measure it and then go back and refine.